All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, like many of you, I was heartened by the trial, the Amber Geiger trial, when the sentence of murder was turned in by a jury. I was less hardened when the sentence turned out to be 10 years. Now, we know a woman who shot up in the air and got 20 years. The mayor of Detroit got 28 years, and no one died in those incidents. But I think there is a way that they see criminality when it has a certain tone and a hue, even a certain occupation. It looks different to people. I was heartened by the amount of love I saw. Botham John's brother, I cannot recall his name, was an example of what love looks like, what Christian grace looks like. I had no problem with him because whatever you got to do, this young man lost his brother. He lost his family member. He lost his older brother. He saw his mother and father. He sees them in pain. And if the only way that he can deal with that is to forgive somebody and turn to his God or his religion or his Bible or whatever he needs to do to get by, I am totally fine with that. That is something that's so deeply personal that I would never even have an opinion about what that looks like. I think that what I was appalled by is when that judge left behind her desk, walked and hugged Amber Geiger and gave her a Bible and quoted her scriptures. Let me ask you something. What did she do that was so worthy of that? Because if she, who murdered somebody, was worthy of that, I expect you to do that with every single murderer. Compassion is one thing. Praying for people is one thing, but you are a judge and you're supposed to be impartial. And you climbed from behind that desk and you cried with her. And it's amazing because I would want to see, had you done that to every single murderer you dealt with? Did you ask for them to have grace? Or only people who wear uniforms and have blonde hair worthy of the grace of God? I saw a bailiff stroking her hair. Have you ever in your life seen those kinds of things happen in a courtroom? Can you imagine, honestly, and I'm not even trying to bring race into it, but can you imagine if a black man had murdered a blonde woman and that judge had come down and hug him and give him a Bible verse? They would be calling for her ouster as a judge. Because optically, I guess forgiveness is only for some people and not for others. Colin Kaepernick has not been forgiven yet, and he hasn't killed one person. O.J. Simpson don't get that kind of grace. Grace is only for certain kinds of people. I'm sure there's been somebody in your courtroom that you felt bad for. I'm sure that there's somebody in the courtroom that your heart bled for. Why was she so worthy of this grace and your tears and your own personal Bible? Why was she so worthy to have her hair stroked while she was going through her trial? And if you haven't done that to everybody else, it's about something other than Christianity. If you haven't prayed for every single person that sat before you at that bench, it was about something else. She quoted a Bible. She said, you need faith the size of a mustard seed, or skin that's white as alabaster, or a uniform that's blue to get that kind of grace. God's grace is supposed to shine on everybody. And if you don't do that to everybody, and I think that there should be a demarcation between church and state. I don't think judges should be doing that anyway. But if you haven't done that to everybody, what did she do that she wanted that kind of love and outpouring for? That every other human being doesn't deserve. Every human being. Are we all God's creatures? Are we all worthy of his love and his grace? Or is there a special dispensation for people who do a certain thing? Or is it political? Do you believe you have to have the support of some people to get elected again? Do you believe it has to look a certain way? Compassion is wonderful, and we all need it. And I really do wish I lived in a world where it was more prevalent. But when you climb from behind that bench to pray for somebody that just murdered somebody, and you tell her and you encourage her and you tell her you have to do that for everybody. Because otherwise, it's not about God. It's not about your conscience. It's about your career. It's about convenience. God is for everybody, not the people that just hold favor in your eyes.